Okay, so this video is just a quick overview on how to import your footage into Final Cut Express. So I've gone ahead and launched Final Cut Express here, and it may come up and ask to check if you've connected a FireWire device. Obviously that's our camera. So I've loaded I've hooked the camera up to the computer like we've shown you in class, and it's detected the camera, so we're ready to go. So first thing I need to check, I'm going to come into user preferences here. We went through a few of these in class together, but there's not much we can change here. These are just up to you. These are the level of undos, how far you can go back in time through your project to undo things. 30 is probably plenty. The machines are quite capable of taking up to 50. You can change that to 50 if you really want, but as I said, it doesn't really make a huge difference. I'd certainly keep it. Oh, hang on. It's limiting me to 32 for some reason. Okay, that's alright. So 32 is obviously the limit for my machine. It would probably be a little bit more for the desktop machines. Okay. That's pretty much all we're going to worry about in there. All this stuff here we're not going to worry about just yet. So just click OK. Okay. Now we come into System Settings. Now what I want to make sure we've got here is we've got our external drive set as the scratch disk. So I'm going to click Set, and there we go, I've got my media drive there. So I'm just going to select my media drive, click Choose, and that's set. Okay. Down here where it says minimum free space on scratch disk, 2 gig, 2000 meg is 2 gig. Really you should keep it around about 10% of the capacity. So I should keep that, probably could make that a little bit higher. This is a 100 gig drive, so 10% of the capacity is 10 gig. So I'd probably want 10.0.0.0 as the minimum allowable free space. Now what that means is that just is a good way to manage your data, and it will warn me that I'm getting a little bit low on hard drive space. Most of the drives we've got that you're using are 320 gigs, so obviously 10% of that would be 32,000 megabytes or 32 gig. So you can put in 30, 32, probably won't make a huge difference, and then click OK. Alright, now we're happy with that. Now we're just going to come in here to Easy Setup. And this is the setup for our capture device. All the cameras we're using are actually PAL cameras. So let's go Show All. Oops, Show All, and bring it down. And we're using DV PAL cameras. We don't have any HD cameras at the moment or anything that captures more than one track of audio simultaneously. So we're just using DV PAL, and we're going to say Setup. Now what I've done is I've made sure my camera is actually set to the VCR setting, so I'll just flick that over. On these Sony cameras, the setting is the Play Edit setting. Okay, so there we go, great. Now I'm ready to capture. I've got my tape in there. I'm going to come down here to Capture, or Command A. Now it's actually recommending I save the project, so I might as well and save it. And I'm going to call this MV for music video 01. We'll leave it at that. Okay, so now what I'm going to come to is capture, and it's initializing my camera. Great. Now, obviously I'm going to want to call this something. Actually, sorry, before we do, what I want you to do is create a bin here. So we're going to go Control click and go New Bin, and we might call this music video 01 underscore tape 01. Whatever you want to create your naming convention. Then I'm going to Control click on it again and set it as my capture bin. That means all my footage I capture is going to go into this folder here, or the bin. Okay, so let's just play our video. Now I've got some video footage from Year 8 camp, so let's preview it here. Okay, now obviously I'm flicking through this footage. I'm watching some very poorly taken footage. I did not take this footage, by the way, because there I am there. So what we're going to do is we might just fast forward through it a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a couple of commands. So we'll keep it playing. The J, K and L buttons. If I press on L, it will fast forward. If I press on K, it will stop. And J will rewind. Okay. And there's some just quick ones to find the point. Okay. Now what I might do is just fast forward. Stop it there. Now, I'm going to set my in point because I want to capture the footage from here. And before I do that, I'm going to give it a name. So we might just call it tape 001 or tape 01, and we'll call it games night. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so I'm going to make my in point there. Let's play. From there, some footage of the kids, and I'm going to set my out point about there. Okay, now what I want to do now is capture the clip. What it will do, it brings up this log clip, so we're going to call it Games Night. Now log note, this is a great little thing where I can put in some text notes of what's going on in this footage. Now this comes in really handy when I come back to play with my footage later on. I'll try and find that exact clip I was after. So log note, I'm going to call it kids waving at games night, all having fun, or whatever I want to call it, okay? Or I might say, also might put in here balloon, is that how you spell balloon? Oh well, balloon game, there we go. And I'm just going to click OK. Now what it will do, Final Cut will now rewind the camera, find the right spot for me, and capture just that bit that I asked it to capture. So it's rewinding my camera to the exact point, it's setting it up, and it's now about to capture. It's just getting the exact point, and it will capture those couple of seconds that I asked for. You'll see that on the screen in a second. Here we go. So it's just capturing those few seconds that I asked for, and it's going to put it straight over here into this capture bin. So I've got my first clip. Okay. Now this might come up, especially if you've used an old tape. Now this is a good one actually. I'm glad this came up during my video. We use a really old tape that had been used plenty of times, and so the tape's a bit worn out. So it says here the audio sample rate of one or more of your captured media files does not match the sample rate on your source tape. It's an old crappy tape, so basically the audio may not line up with the visual too well. But that's okay, because I'm only using this as a bit of a game, as a music video clip, so I really don't care what my source video audio sounds like. So that's done, and over here we've got that in our capture bin. Okay, now I might come back, press play here to find the next spot that I want. Now that's actually fast forward quite a way, so what I'm going to do is tap the L button a couple of times and it will go really fast. That's about as fast. So if you hit it 3 times, I've hit the L key, just the letter L, and we might stop here and let's play. Set an in point along here. I think this is where they all started waving or something. No, I might have missed it. Okay. And okay, now I've set my out point, and what I might call this one, if I set my out point, yes I have. Okay, so I'll call this one games. We might call this games. Actually, no, I won't worry about anything else there. I'll just call it that. Leave it at that. Okay, games night 1. So this is the next one. Log night. Kids sitting down, listening to instructions. I'm having a bad spelling day. There we go. Okay. Same thing again. It'll find the spot on my camera. It will automatically rewind my camera, so you don't have to worry about it. It's communicating with the camera, stopping it, rewinding it to the right spot, and capturing just that period of time that we wanted. So we'll go and do that. And you'll see that come up in a second. I think my battery's almost flat on my camera. That's alright. Okay, here we come. And it's just going to capture those few seconds that I've done. Okay. And it should add it over here and call it Game Nights 1. In actual fact, what I could have done, just for my naming convention, I could have called that Games Night 01, then it would have called this next one Games Night 02, so it would have kept it in a nice little naming convention order there for you, and being organised is a good thing. Okay, so we've captured 2 clips. I'm going to turn off my camera, the battery's nearly flat. Okay, now, so I've got 2 clips captured. That's pretty simple. So that's basically how we capture our footage, okay? And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how you utilise this footage and start editing. So that's that. Enjoy.